"400,000 years ago, humans gained control of fire and began telling stories around a campfire. We haven't changed all that much. Virgin Group founder Richard Branson likes to gather his team around the fire to swap stories, stating, "Storytelling is the best way we have of coming up with new ideas." As marketers, we truly believe we are storytellers, simply because we produce content or experiences. However, being a storyteller takes much more than just saying you're a storyteller. We keep saying it not because it's true, but because it feels good to say you're storytelling instead of admitting you're in marketing. What's up everybody, Arndt Eriksson here with yet another 5-Minute Friday. As always, do you A. have a tasty beverage available, B. a notepad to write down ideas and questions during this session, and C. mentally prepared for a few minutes of insight? Excellent. Consider subscribing to this channel, give it a thumbs up or smash it if you so desire, and please leave a comment down below or talk to me on Twitter or Instagram. It's @ArndtEriksson everywhere. Okay, on with the story. In a world where people are bombarded by choices, who we decide to do business with often comes down to who tells the most compelling story. In the business world, storytellers are all around us. We all have a story to tell. Isn't it time you shared yours? Great brands and great businesses have to be great storytellers, says Apple Store Chief Angela Ahrendts. We have to tell authentic, emotive, and compelling stories because we're building relationships with people. And every great relationship has to be built on trust. Ahrendts and other brand leaders use the power of story to motivate employees to raise their game. The result is often improved employee engagement, better customer service, lower turnover, and higher profits. So simply put, storytelling is not just something we do, storytelling is who we are. Let me explain. Now, the great thing about social media is that it gave everyone a voice. The downside of social media is that it gave everyone a voice. Unfortunately, among those who were suddenly gifted with platforms and voices were marketers. And marketers wasted no time in broadcasting, publishing, pushing, measuring. At some point, we got so caught up in the process, calendars and numbers, that we lost our story. We lost our audience, we lost our purpose. According to Content Marketing Institute, 60% of marketers still don't have a documented content strategy, yet 74% of marketers plan to spend more on content in the coming year. Too many marketers have no idea who they're trying to reach, what's important to them, and why. There's a reason why 95% of content fails to connect with people. Content is more often designed to be viral instead of engaging, useful, or empathetic. So, how does anyone stand out in an always-on, look-at-me world? Now, as I talked about in a previous episode, contrary to fake news, attention spans aren't the issue and neither is multitasking. People are just hyper-focused, self-seeking, empowered, elusive, and in control of their experiences. The people who matter aren't distracted, they're focused. They are open to relevant content at the right time, in the right context, and in the right format. Great! Relevant stories talk to and through people to connect and resonate across social graphs. The focus of our work shifts from impressions to expressions, so that you can deliver value to your customers and in turn, they can pass it on to their networks. Information becomes currency, relevance becomes a new viral, and utility is a new experience. The goal is to talk to and through people and to build community where the value of belonging is measured in how people feel and what they do differently as a result of your engagement. The challenge is how we shift from content marketers to legitimate storytellers, and by making story engaging, relevant, useful, relatable, believable, desirable, and aspirational. Great stories have the power to transform our perception of the world and our place in it. Casey Neistat explained how every story is built more or less around the same principle of the 3-act narrative. Now, I'll let him explain it in his video.
But what is a story? Here's a super basic breakdown of a story, and every good story follows this rule. That is the rule of a 3-act narrative. You've got a beginning, you've got a middle, you've got an end. Setup, conflict, resolution. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, Act 1. Jack fell down and broke his crown, Act 2. Jill came tumbling after, Act 3. Setup, conflict, resolution.
So, storytelling is both art and science. It's a dance. It requires emotion, human connection, and an understanding of what motivates and inspires action. It's even harder for businesses, in what you need the data to know what your customers want. It's not for everyone, that's why great storytellers often become cultural icons. Spielberg, Hemingway, Orwell, Grissom, Ogilvy, Bernbach, to name a few. Stories ignite our imagination. Ted, the purveyor of ideas worth spreading, believes that story affirms who we are and allows us to experience the similarities between ourselves and others, real or imagined. Stories help us make meaning of our lives. And if you paid attention to my 5-Minute Friday videos, it is following the same principle: setup, conflict, and solution. So, to sum this up in a simplified way, as is my promise, think about your customer's journey and how they go about their world every day. What challenges do they face? What needs and wants do they have? What do they ask? Where do they go for answers, and what do those answers look like? How can you help them become the hero in their story? Use those answers to inspire your stories. So that's it for this story. Thank you for giving me your time and attention, which I hope you found enjoyable. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a good thumbs up and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. It actually makes a difference. Next topic is gonna be bonfire conversations. But until then, be safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you next Friday.